VantagePointSoftware.com for terms, conditions, and privacy policy.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it is a fit for you.
It is 7:37 in our Team Hochberg Traffic Center. Now the latest with Jim Talamonte.
Parts of the Chicago area still have significant fog, and there is freezing fog as well. There have been a number of collisions, especially north and northwest. In Gurnee, there's a crash on 41 southbound at Stern School Road. In Barrington, there's a collision on Lake Cook west of 59. The Stevenson Expressway has delays inbound Central to Cicero. There was an earlier crash at the bottom of the ramp there. Also on the outbound side at Central, there's a car fire at the entrance ramp from Central. So we're looking at delays both ways. We're looking inbound at a travel time of 40 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive, and outbound it's 41 minutes with the delays beginning around Cicero. That's traffic. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast in our AM 560 Weather Center. Freezing fog in spots this morning, otherwise cloudy throughout the day. High 35. Currently we have 31 at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
From the Matrix Home Solutions studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560 The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 The Answer online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, on TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. When you've got always has an answer. It's Sean Hannity this afternoon at 2 on AM 560 The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. This morning, Raphael Warnock posted a video declaring victory over Kelly Loeffler in his Senate race in Georgia, which the AP has called for Warnock. And just a few moments ago, John Ossoff, who was up about 16,000 votes on David Perdue in the other Senate race, posted a video. Again, Loeffler has not conceded, and nobody's even called the race for Ossoff yet.
Good morning. It is with humility that I thank the people of Georgia for electing me to serve you in the United States Senate. Thank you for the confidence and trust that you have placed in me. At this moment of crisis, as COVID-19 continues to ravage our state and our country, when hundreds of thousands have lost their lives, millions have lost livelihoods, Georgia families are having difficulty putting food on the table, fearing foreclosure or eviction, having difficulty making ends meet. Let's unite now to beat this virus and rush economic relief to the people of our state and to the...
There you go. Let's get reaction to both of these occurrences from our friend Steve Moore, Wall Street Journal columnist, Trumponomics author, Economist Steve Moore. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning. Do I have to?
I know. How are you feeling today?
Bad. Happy New Year to you guys. No, it was a catastrophic election for the Republicans. No, there's no sugarcoating this. And this one, while I think there was rampant fraud in the November elections, very well it cost Trump the election. You can't blame this one on voter fraud. There was a lot of voter security here. Why did it happen?
Right.
I
Were
think that
Republicans exhausted or something? What happened?
I think Trump, and I love Donald Trump, but his behavior since the election has been, to put it kindly, erratic. And I think that has been, the phone call that happened 4 or 5 days ago with the Georgia Secretary of State was just improper. And I think it cost the Republicans a lot of votes in very close elections. I think
Steve, just a second there. So Perdue wins or has 88,000 more votes than Ossoff on November 3rd, and that was the two of them had the overwhelming majority. It wasn't such a big primary like Loeffler and Warnock had.
Interrupt you for 1 second there, Dan. One of the tragedies for the Republicans is he came within 1,000 points of winning outright.
No, I know.
Like that.
Yeah, he was right there.
No, I know.
It went to I'm like, this is a curse. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but so he's up. He wins by he has more than 88,000 votes more than Ossoff on November 3rd, and he's down 16,000 now. You think that's all attributable to a Saturday phone call with Raffensperger?
No, I'm not. I think there's a confluence of factors. I mean, I think that Trump's behavior the last few days and weeks has hurt the Republic. I mean, he basically and look, I don't want to blame Trump for this. The other thing that happened was that the left spent a gargantuan amount of money here. They spent about $500 million on 2 Senate races, which is, off the charts. That's what we used to spend on presidential races. So it was a massive amount of money, a massive turnout machine by the Democrats. They outworked the Republicans. They outspent them, and it's a tragedy for the Republicans. This isn't Michigan or Pennsylvania or Massachusetts. This is Georgia. I mean, Georgia has been a reliably red state for 50 years. So, it's a hard one to swallow, and I think it's a repudiation of plus the other thing I was going to mention was the $2,000 checks. Trump started talking about giving everybody $2,000 checks, and that put the Senate, it split the Republicans right down the middle. And that's a stupid idea, by the way. Just sending people more free money is not the solution to our problems. It's going to make the problems worse, not better. And yet Democrats seized on that and, basically promised everybody $2,000 if they voted for him. And
well, what about Loeffler and Purdue? I mean, the stock trades that they made, right before the pandemic hit or during the pandemic, that didn't sit well with a lot of people. And I, spent time in Georgia and Atlanta. Yeah. Every single commercial, every ad was about their stock trades.
Yeah, that's a good point, Amy. And, those kinds of, I don't think that it was what they did was improper, but certainly the visuals didn't look good. And so I think that hurt too. No doubt about it. Purdue has been a really good senator. He's going to be very, very missed. He was a really strong free market pro-business senator. And look, this is a bad day for the country, I believe. I mean, these two Democrats are not, this isn't Sam Nunn. Remember Sam Nunn?
Yeah, of course.
An old, moderate Democrat, Southern moderate Democrat. These guys will be, Warnock may be the left of Bernie Sanders, for goodness sakes. And they ran as left-wing liberals. They didn't run away from their left wing. So maybe the country has shifted a little bit left. I don't know. I mean,
what happens to Mitch McConnell?
Yeah.
Good question. I mean, McConnell, one of the reasons this is important, just in terms of policy, is that, whether you like Mitch McConnell or don't like him, and I admire, he's an incredible parliamentarian. And he would have been able, as a majority leader, just block almost all of the bad things that that Joe Biden wants to do. And now that he doesn't have the gavel, it's going to bring a lot of these bills to the floor that we as conservatives are not going to like very much, and some of them are going to be very harmful. And I'll say this: I think that all of this talk, they were already talking last night about, we're going to give all these free things to people, more money, more aid, more rent assistance, more this, that. This is the dependency culture that the Democrats are going to build up again, which, by the way, the people who are hurt the most by the dependency culture are the very minorities and low-income people that are supposed to be helped.
Well, right, there's no question about that. And Purdue is still an outstanding issue, much more so an outstanding issue than Loeffler, I think.
It doesn't look good, but,
No, I understand.
Right,
I get it. I'd prefer you would up 16,000 than down 16,000. I get it.
Yeah, that's right. But, again, you're right. It's not over, but it's unlikely.
But with respect to McConnell, he also seems to have lost perhaps the control he once enjoyed over the caucus, as evidenced by what's going to transpire today with a dozen senators over his objections. And I wonder if Mitch McConnell wants to be the minority leader or his caucus wants him to be their minority leader.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think we were really expecting to lose these two Senate races. I knew the Loeffler race would be really close, but I thought Purdue would, win pretty handily. Ossoff is a doofus. But it wasn't really about Sam, though. It was about a kind of a reaction to the post-election environment. It's been kind of toxic. I don't. Then the question: who would it be? Who would be the minority leader? I think the next in line would be John Thune, and I don't know if he's as skilled as McConnell in terms of his parliamentary, knowledge and so on. But I don't know. We're all just kind of picking up the pieces right now, Dan. So it's hard to really see where things go from here.
What about?
Schumer will be this majority leader, and you got the murderer's row now, folks. You got Biden in the White House. You got Pelosi, who I would call her Madam Pelosi, but we're Madam Speaker, but we're not allowed to do that anymore.
No, you can't. You
Yeah.
can't use mother either.
By the
I
way,
work so hard to be mom.
Amy, what do you think about this stuff about me? You can't call someone a grandmother
or a mother. Are you kidding me? Who are they to determine how we speak and whatever happened to freedom of speech? And it's just ridiculous.
Exactly.
It's so stupid and silly, and that they'd even spend time on passing a measure like that is bothersome.
It's just a little. I 100% agree, but it's more than just symbolic. These people are crazy.
They're morons.
People who are taking over Washington, and they really believe that people want to get rid of the words grandmother and mother, and they really think that that's somehow defamatory to people to say that. I mean,
I know it's not a derogatory term. It's your mother. I mean, who doesn't love their mother?
Exactly.
On matters economics, Steve, it turns out that lockdowns are surprisingly anti-growth. ADP, that's surprising to many, it would appear. ADP reporting this morning that payrolls down 123,000 unexpectedly in December.
Yep, it's lockdown. It's this is the season. These were the late December numbers, and this is usually a big pickup of employment. With people out going shopping, and now people can go to restaurants, people can go to bars. The restaurant and bar industry does massive amounts of their profits are made between Thanksgiving and New Year's, and that was all shut down. And the lockdowns have been real damage, and we are kind of two Americas right now with states like, I told you guys that normally the Moore family would travel to, the Chicago area, and we'd be on Miracle Mile, and we'd spend a lot of money on restaurants and food and shops and all of that kind of stuff. And, we stayed home this year because everything was shut down.
Next time the Moore family comes and next time the Moore family comes to Chicago, you're not going to be able to shop at Macy's either.
Yeah, Macy's is gone on the Mag Mile. Did you hear?
Is it? Yeah, and that was one of the signature stores there. So we have to stop the lockdowns. The evidence continues to come in. What state has the biggest increase in coronavirus cases right now by far?
California.
Yeah, and guess what? California's been locked down for the last month and a half.
Right. So
they're not locked down tight enough. More lockdown.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's what the politicians will say.
They probably will. And, that's the other thing to worry about with the Democrats taking over. The Democrats are pro-lockdown, and I really worry about national, requirements of locking down stores and curfews and things of that nature that will be very injurious, not just to the economic health of the country, but to our civil liberties. So, I hate to start off the new year.
Things are going great.
Well, the good news is, Steve, the economic damage is just visited on people that are not important. The important people are fine, so don't worry too much about it.
Well, that's the other big thing that went on here, guys, is that you asked me why did the Republicans lose this race, and we have to do the autopsy. It'll take some time to do, but one thing is clear. The big tech companies and the executives, they spent tens and tens of millions of dollars, in some cases hundreds of millions of dollars on these races. Big tech, and by the way, I'm not one who wants to, censor big tech or, I'm not in favor of breaking up big tech. But, these folks who made billions and billions and billions of dollars, in some cases trillions of dollars up of the free enterprise system, and they're trying to tear it down. I don't get it.
He is Steve Moore, author of Trumponomics, economist, Wall Street Journal columnist. Steve, thanks for joining us. Go lick your wounds. Yes.
I'll be in a better mood next week, I promise.
All right.
Okay. Maybe we won't, though. And Stephen Moore joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
In 1901, a woman by the name of Annie Taylor climbed into a barrel so that she could ride that barrel over Niagara Falls, the first person to